Hi, welcome to Devlog number 2. Today I want to talk about another challenge I ran into and how I went about solving it. In Devlog 1, I covered how I handled the player getting hidden behind walls or objects. But what happens when the player walks into a building that has multiple floors? Here's exactly what's happening right now. We have two major problems. The occlusion mechanic I set up in Devlog 1 isn't designed to handle two layers of walls at the same time. Because of that, the second floor stays visible even when it's blocking the view of the player model. As you can see, I still get an obstructed view of the player whenever they are behind a tall structure. So the vague plan is to make it so if the player is on the first floor, so this is the player, and this is the first floor. And the first floor will be visible, and then the second floor assets and material will be disabled, and so will the third floor. And if the player moves to the second floor, then the first floor will remain visible, and the third floor will remain invisible. So this way the camera will have the view without obstruction. So whichever floor the player is on, any floors above it will turn invisible. To make this work, I decided to create trigger areas. I'm using a box collider to set to isTrigger, which it detects the player as soon as they step into this specific area. In this example, I have two triggers which represents two floors, the 1F_trigger and 2F_trigger. For the triggers, I simply created a cube and then added a box collider component. I could have simply created an empty game object and added a single box collider component, but it's visually easier to set up the box collider with the mesh render enabled. Now for the script itself. I decided to call it the Building Visibility Handler. First, the script needs to know what represents the player. Initially, I was using tags for this. Making this devlog is basically forcing me to do a self-code review. I realized I shouldn't be checking for the players using tags, and should be relying on layers instead. There are technical reasons for this, but the short version is that it's just better for performance. For the actual setup, I add a prefix to every building piece based on its level, like 1F, 2F, 3F, and so on. All of these models then need to be grouped under a single parent game object. In this case, I place them all under building_mesh. Next, I set up the building visibility handler script to reference that parent building_mesh object. I pass in the mesh prefixes and the trigger object so the script can keep track of everything using a dictionary. Here's how it works in action. As soon as the player enters the 1F trigger, all the models above the first floor have the render set to shadows only. This creates the effect of an invisible ceiling, but it still blocks light sources from outside the building to keep the scene realistic. This is the path I decided to take. I'm sure there are other options out there, and probably more optimized ways to do it. But hey, this is what I got working, and so far, it's doing the job. Thanks for sharing your time with me, and a like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated. See you next time.